Welcome back to the ongoing series of What If Kakarot Was Raised by Cooler, Part 6. Kakarot assumes intense emotions is the way to access the Super Saiyan transformation, but strength also plays a great factor in it. Having a group of Super Saiyans would be nice, but for right now, that isn't the plan. Obtaining more strength is the main focus right now, since no one else can transform. Kakarot does help the Saiyans try to transform by making them remember their toughest moments. Vegeta is the closest one to awakening, due to his pride. A low-class warrior actually achieving the transformation of legend before him causes him to compare himself to Kakarot often, which pisses him off. After a month has passed by, the Saiyans are finally ready to leave. Turbo will have grown an exceptional amount since everyone else around him is 1,000 times stronger than him, which explains why he has a power level of 200,000. Transforming into the Super Saiyan would have become easier for Kakarot, but since the rage that caused him to transform hasn't left him yet, he hardly sleeps due to him consistently having the same dream night after night of his entire crew being killed by Frieza and Cooler in front of him. These nightmares will cause Kakarot to wake up differently every day. Some mornings he wakes up drenched in sweat, some nights he randomly wakes up screaming either Raditz, Vegeta's, Turtley's, or even Turbo's name. Turbo wouldn't understand why the other Saiyans tend not to pay attention to what's been going on to Kakarot. This isn't normal, and he's actually worried about Kakarot. He wants to ask and find out what he's been dreaming of to make him do all this, but he hasn't found a way to approach him just yet about it. But when their last day of training finally comes around, he just goes in for it. Kakarot, what is it that you see in your dreams? Kakarot freezes, as the dreams he's been having replay throughout his entire mind. The other Saiyans would turn around and stare at Kakarot as to find out what's been going on with him as well. Turles thinks he has an idea of what's been going on with Kakarot, but he'd like to hear it from the source. Kakarot looks into the sky and he sighs. Well, the dreams I've been having lately are you all being killed right in front of me. Turbo flinches back, and Vegeta raises an eyebrow. Who is it that you see killing us? Is it Frieza? Raditz would ask, is it Cooler? By the look on Kakarot's face from what they just said, Turles would already know the answer without Kakarot even had to explain it. It's both of them doing it, while he just watches. Even though it hasn't happened, Kakarot can't help but to imagine it because of how much he doubts himself. And by what Turles just said, he already knows that Turles understands this as well. Turles would get up from his seated position and stand over Kakarot. You're the only one out of all of us who has the power of a Super Saiyan, but yet you still doubt yourself. If what you see in your dreams actually turns out to be a premonition, then that's our fault. But I assure you, Kakarot, that would never happen. Kakarot looks at Turles, expecting him to have a face of disgust, but he only sees Turles extending his hand with a sly smile on his face. Turbo yells out into the sky that they'll never lose as long as they fight together, which causes both Raditz and Vegeta to smirk. Kakarot will look around at the Saiyans, and the bad thoughts he was just constantly having slowly starts to disappear. He smiles, then grabs Turles' hand and she gets up. Moments later, the Saiyans will begin to pack their bags to begin traveling to Namek. Turbo will say his goodbyes to everyone on the planet, and he even tells the guy that healed them all that he should come along with them. The man would tell Turbo no, his life is here, and Turbo should go out and have the best life he can, get as strong as possible, make everyone here proud. Turbo will scream out that he will, and they begin to leave. Wishing for immortality isn't on Vegeta's mind anymore, because the power that he's gained while on this planet makes him feel confident enough not to want that. So the Saiyans came up with a different wish, and that is to bring Nappa back. Reality starts to set in for Turbo when they finally arrive to Namek, because now there's no turning back. His journey of strength and recognition starts here. The Saiyans exit the ship and they start to look around. Kakarot comes up with the plan to separate, so that finding the Dragon Balls will be much easier. So Raditz flies in the east, Turles flies in the west, Vegeta and Turbo flies in the north, and Kakarot flies to the south. While searching for the Dragon Balls, Kakarot comes across a pair of two younger Namekians. They will spot Kakarot and instantly get scared, but what makes matters worse, they will see that Kakarot has one of the Dragon Balls. The younger Namekian screams for an elder to come where they are, which causes Kakarot to tell them that he isn't a threat. Vegeta thinks that this is all pointless. Why should they have to go around wasting their energy searching for these wishing orbs when they can just hold a few Namekians captive and force them to find them for them? Turbo would think this is kinda harsh, but then again, the Saiyans are actually the best people. Vegeta will spot 3 Namekians, and this is perfect for him. He can use them. He flies over to where they are and quickly knocks out one of them. Okay, Namekians, I need the wishing orbs, but I don't quite know where to find them at. So that's where you two come in. I need you to help me find out where they are. One of them shake their head no, and the other one screams out that they'll never help him, especially because of what they've done to his comrade. Vegeta starts to laugh. It's not like I killed him or anything, he's only knocked out. But actually, if you want to decline my offer, then my comrade can kill yours. Turbo starts to raise an eyebrow, because he never expected that he'll have to kill anyone. The Namekians wouldn't like being threatened, so they would try to escape, until Vegeta would quickly strike both of them in their stomach. The Namekians would fall to their knees after that attack, and they would still refuse. Vegeta grits his teeth. These guys are so annoying. Turbo killed the unconscious one. Turbo would look at Vegeta with a face that looks like he doesn't want to do it. But then he starts to think, if he does this, then it will make his brother accept him a little more. Turbo stands over the sleeping Namekian, and Vegeta just watches him because he doesn't think that Turbo can actually do it. But to his surprise, Turbo picks up the Namekian by his shirt and places his hand near the Namekian's heart. Turbo would take a deep breath as he fires an attack that blows a hole through the Namekian's chest, disintegrating his entire heart. Turbo's heart would begin to race. Did he actually just do that? Vegeta would smirk. He actually did it. He turns to the two Namekians while they would scream the other one's name. Now, will you still decline my offer? Kakarot will be trying to explain to the Namekian elder that he's here with his comrades to find the wishing orb so that they can bring back their fallen comrade Nappa back to life. The elder believes Kakarot, but he doesn't know if he can actually fully trust him or his comrades since the Saiyans have so much malice in their heart. Elder Guru would have felt the death of one of his children, and he would summon Nell to go and see what it was, but before he leaves, he tells him to fuse with more of the Namekians so he can gain more strength to face off against these guys. Once Nell has done this, he flies as fast as he can in the direction of Turbo and Vegeta, and once he gets there, he lands a kick on Turbo that sends him flying into the water. Vegeta would turn his head to see who did that to Turbo, and once he sees a Namekian, he smiles. One of them actually has some power. He and Nell will begin to face off, and as they do this, Frieza has just now entered the atmosphere of planet Namek. Frieza will exit his ship and hover above Vegeta and Nell. What a coincidence that these Saiyans are actually here. That's so sneaky. He fires a blast in between Vegeta and Nell that causes them to look into the air to see where the blast came from. Once Vegeta sees Frieza, he will be shocked, and Nell would accuse Vegeta of working with him. Vegeta would scoff at Nell. I'm not working with that guy. I wouldn't even be here if he wouldn't have killed one of my comrades. An evil smile forms on Frieza's face while he tells Vegeta it's nice to see him again. He would question where are the other monkeys? Did they die before he could even get his hands on? Even that Kakarot? Vegeta smirks. Frieza, you should have never came here. Vegeta will begin releasing all of his strength, and Frieza would actually acknowledge it, but he tells Vegeta that he still isn't enough for him. Frieza would demand Vegeta and the Namekian next to him to bring him the wishing orbs, or else everyone here will die. He will start to create a micro death ball that has purple lightning crackling off of it as he points it towards the ground. If they decide to do otherwise, then he will destroy this entire planet. This surge of energy catches the attention of everyone on the planet, including Kakarot. The Namekian elder would ask Kakarot does he know who that energy belongs to, and Kakarot would nod his head yes. That guy is not good at all, and if he doesn't stop him, he will destroy this entire planet. Kakarot vanishes, leaving behind a golden blur as he rushes towards Frieza, and as he approaches him, Frieza would turn his head just enough to see Kakarot's eyes until he struck in his jaw, sending him flying across the sky. Kakarot yells out to Vegeta to hold off on fighting the Dragon Balls. The others will be here shortly. Vegeta wouldn't understand this. Why would he want us to hold off on fighting the Dragon Balls? How else are they supposed to bring back Nappa? Kakarot tells Vegeta to just trust him. He wants to bring back Nappa as much as he does, but he just have to wait. Vegeta crosses his arms, and he turns his back to Kakarot. You better not embarrass us. Frieza holds the side of his face. What was that? He's never seen a Saiyan with any eye color like that before, so it couldn't have been one of them. Could it have been a Namekian? Kakarot flies to where Frieza is, and the look on his face is amusing. Frieza screams out, who are you? You will not get away with attacking me like that. Kakarot starts to laugh. You really don't recognize me? Frieza knows his voice. Is this Kakarot? But why is his hair? Wait, no. It can't be. Frieza screams out, it's not possible. Kakarot tells him yes. He's a Super Saiyan. He goes back to his base form, then transforms once again to show Frieza he's actually telling the truth. You know, Frieza, this is actually our third time facing off against each other. And yeah, I can admit, you did win the first 2 rounds, but I assure you, things will be different this time. But don't worry, your older brother will join you in the afterlife soon enough. This will aggravate Frieza. He will not accept this disrespect from a monkey. Super Saiyan or not, you will fall to my feet. Frieza would begin to rush towards Kakarot in a fit of rage, but before he could even land an attack, Kakarot smashed his fist into his stomach, hard enough that caused him to throw up liters of blood. Kakarot would then roundhouse kick Frieza, sending him crashing into the ground, rendering him unable to move. Blue Ki would begin to surround Kakarot's hand, the same way it did when Bardock was preparing to fire a blast at Frieza many years ago. Frieza would start to plead to Kakarot. I can join you. We can defeat my brother together. Rule the universe together. We can be equals. Frieza's pleas would have been pointless. They went in through one ear and out the other. Kakarot would begin to charge directly towards Frieza. Frieza would continue trying to plead with Kakarot until his blast impales his body, causing him to scream in agony until it explodes, killing Frieza in an instant. This explosion would have been seen by everyone. The Saiyans would be beyond proud of Kakarot. He actually defeated him and avenged all the other Saiyans. Elder Guru telepathically tells Nail to stand down. These Saiyans aren't a threat anymore. Once the Saiyan Kakarot arrives where they are, bring them all to his home. Nail wouldn't argue with Guru because he fully understands, but does feel some type of way about bringing the Saiyans to Elder Guru's home. Kakarot stands over the crater, and the ground where Frieza's body just was, and he actually smiles. He did it. Nobody died. The dream that he was having didn't actually turn out to be a premonition after all. Kakarot reverts back to his base form, then he flies over to where the Saiyans and Nail are. Raditz puts his arm around Kakarot. You made me so proud, younger brother. Turles throws the Dragon Ball at Kakarot and tells him now the only thing left is to bring back Nappa, then leave and go defeat Cooler. Nail interrupts the Saiyans' conversation and he tells them to follow him and bring the Dragon Ball with them. Raditz and Turles are skeptical about Namekians, but then Kakarot assures them that everything's okay. We can trust them. The group would then arrive to Guru's house and they'll instantly be shocked to see 6 Namekians holding the other Dragon Balls. To show gratitude for saving our planet, we're going to allow you to bring your friend back to life. The Namekians summon Porunga, and they make the wish to bring Nappa back to life. Nappa appears next to them, and the halo above his head disappears. He's beyond shocked. Did they actually bring him back? Nappa would look up at the dragon, and he would be speechless. It's actually true. The wishing orbs actually exist. The Namekians would tell Kakarot that they will allow him to have one more wish, and Kakarot knows exactly what he's going to ask for. He tells the Namekians to teleport him and his crew to wherever planet the Cooler is on currently. The Namekians will repeat the wish to Porunga, and Porunga will grant it, teleporting the Saiyans to the middle of a Cooler's planet. The Saiyans will look around. Kakarot tells them that they should handle the armor squadron, or any of the army, and he's going to take care of Cooler by himself. The Saiyans will begin raiding Cooler's palace, but Nappa, he will decide to stay outside. He wants to take care of anyone who's out here. Once they enter the palace, they will decide to separate. Vegeta and Turbo would decide to go one way, and Raditz and Turles would decide to go to the opposite way. Vegeta and Turbo will have no problem with taking care of every soldier that comes across them, until they got to Salza. Salza would be confused by the Saiyans' presence. How did they even get here without nobody even noticing? Vegeta would shoot Salza's scouter before he could even contact anyone to come where they are. Salza grits his teeth. I'm gonna finish you all before Lord Cooler even notices that you were here, pathetic apes. He forms a Keyblade on his hand, then rushes towards Vegeta, telling him that he's going to be the first one he kills. Then a short one is next. Salza will begin slashing at Vegeta, but Vegeta will block every slash that comes his way. You're too weak. Do you actually think those pathetic slashes can harm me? Vegeta will catch Salza's hand. You're going to be the first one that I kill, weakling. Vegeta forms a Keyblade of his own, then he slices off Salza's arm, causing him to start screaming out loud, in agony. Vegeta will slice off Salza's other arm, causing him to scream even louder. Salza would try to get away from Vegeta as he starts to scream out Lord Cooler's name, asking for help. Vegeta will start to laugh. I don't know why you calling for him. He's probably already dead. Vegeta raises his hand and he fires a blast towards Salza that kills him immediately. Vegeta turns to Turbo and he tells him, once all this is finished, all this is going to be ours. We're the ones who are going to rule the universe next. Turles and Raditz comes across the other 2 members of the armor squadron and they rush towards to attack them. Kakarot enters Cooler's chambers and he screams his name. Cooler turns around and he smiles at Kakarot maniacally. Welcome back.